Hello, vampire fans. We join another episode of Vampire the Masquerade Independence today. Tonight's episode features Amelia just doing her normal work routine of standing around the desert rose looking intimidating and making sure no unwanted type of folks get into the desert rose. Generally, she's looking for people that are either too drunk to appreciate it or looking to start fights, that sort of thing. She's more than capable and looks more than capable now of tossing them out without too much of a second thought. And that is where we join our scene, just outside the Desert Rose.
Is it Red has been inside the bar for some time, keeping herself to herself. She's feeling tired. She's feeling angry and short-tempered and hungry, and just these dreams, these visions have taken their toll on her. They're interfering with her sleep. And it's not long before someone decides that their infraction is minor. Perhaps they trip, or perhaps their friend pushes them playfully and causes them to fall backwards into Red and knock their drink over her, which on a normal day she'd just brush off, but she's just, like I said, she's fed up. And she grabs this person by the shirt, and she has potence, so she has no trouble lifting them and carrying them across the room and trying to push them or throw them out through the double doors.
As soon as the altercation starts to happen, one of the workers inside just opens the door, finds Amelia, and suggests that she might want to come inside right about now. And as she does, she turns to open the other door, and only to see a guy fly out past her, which moderately concerns her. She looks at him as he crumples to a heap outside, before turning her eyes to settle on apparently Red, who is standing just within. What's going on here then?
And the guy is probably apologising profusely, as Red's with. She doesn't say anything to him. She just has this kind of hard, cold, very tired look on her face as she attempts to throw him out of the bar. And you can see the droplets of beer running down her jacket, where a pint's been chucked over her.
Once the guy was outside, she glanced back to him and said, "You stay there. I'm going to deal with this, just in case," before she moves to step into the bar, leaving the person who'd come to get her outside to reassure the guy that everything was okay. So Amelia steps up to Red and just kind of tries to make eye contact with her, giving her a rather concerned look.
Red goes back to her drink, or it might not even be her drink, it might just be somebody else's fucking drink, for all she can really fathom right now. She just picks up a drink at the end of the bar, and she's looking into the glass and sipping from it, and when Amelia comes over, she looks. Takes her a few seconds, but eventually she sort of looks up at her. "What do you want?"
I want to know what's caused you to try and throw someone out of my bar.
She holds up the wet jacket between her thumb and forefinger.
Was it on purpose?
I don't know.
Are you alright? Are you doing alright?
From what I mean, you don't know Red all that well, but from the last couple of times that you've seen her, she's been quite jokey and high energy, and she just looks, frankly, really depressed.
Hence Amelia's question of, are you doing alright?
Haven't slept.
You and me both.
Hungry, tired, pissed off.
And wait, apparently. She motions at the jacket.
There's an ever so slight smile, like a crumple of the lips. Don't be getting funny, it'll be you next.
Promises, promises. Anyway, come on, we got to get you something to eat so you can shut the fuck up.
Where do you suggest?
Take your pick, we're in a bar.
And she turns around and she sort of like looks. I haven't really got the energy to try my usual tactic. I might have to wait till the end of the night.
And what's your usual tactic?
Gift of the gab.
Oh, fuck that.
Charisma.
Point at someone here that works here.
Red's not really this fussy at that point. She'll just point out a random person. Doesn't really matter if it's male or female at this stage.
Hey, Jesse, get over here. And a tall blonde woman walks over. Just a little bit taller than Amelia. But she doesn't seem it in the way she holds herself. My friend Red here, she wants to go and have a wee bit of fun in one of the private rooms. You take her off in there, okay?
Red takes off her jacket, and even though you aren't holding out your arm, she just sort of like purposely drapes it over Amelia, letting her get a little bit of wet with the jacket. Smirks, and then follows this Jessie up to the room.
Amelia smirks at the treating of herself as a jacket stand, as it were. Meanwhile, Jessie leads her up this staircase and into one of the rooms at the top of the stairs, where there's a large bed and washing facilities, everything that you'd expect to find in like a standard hotel room.
And Red's gonna go about and go through the motions of the act until there's an appropriate time for her to bite and take 2 blood points.
There certainly was, and she received your 2 blood points.
And she lets Jessie sleep it off because she'll feel a bit tired for a while, then she'll be fine. She lets her sleep it off in the room. And after about an hour or so, Red comes back down the stairs.
By that time, she might notice that the guy that she'd thrown out was back inside, and yet being carefully watched by a certain blonde vampire that was just speaking to Red not an hour ago. Everything else seems to be business as normal.
Red looks a bit perkier, a bit more colour in her cheeks, so to speak.
Welcome back to...
Yeah,
Continue.
carry on. You carry on.
Well, when she walks downstairs, Amelia meets her at the foot of said stairs. Well, someone's certainly looking a wee bit better. Welcome back to the world of the unliving.
Red smiles. So, you said you haven't been sleeping either.
Aye, for various reasons.
Being?
Probably something we don't even want to talk about out here.
How long before you finish?
She glances over at her clock. Call it a couple of hours.
Alright, well, I'll just have a few more drinks and after work we can have a talk.
No worries, you know where to find me, darling.
Time fast forward, Red will stay in the bar and just talk to people and play pool and etc. Things that you do in a bar over the next couple of hours.
In the way that happens when you press the fast forward button on The Sims, everyone shuffles around the bar, talk, drinks, whatevers, and eventually the night comes to a close and the bar starts closing up, Amelia lets all the staff know that Red's fine to stay a bit longer. And finally, Amelia approaches the woman. Right, I'm off work.
Red's sitting on the edge of a pool table, and she's got a pool cue and she's chalking the top of it. As you walk over, she looks up at you with a slight smile. A little bit of a glint in her eye. Maybe perception empathy could tell you what kind of glint. But yes. Ah, good. We can talk now.
That default roll. 1 success. Amelia has no empathy.
You could take a stab at it was flirtatious.
Amelia returns the woman's smile as she approaches. Aye, but if you think I'm going to play you at pool and get hustled by you, you've got another thing coming to you.
I thought you were a little bit braver than that, Amelia.
Nothing wrong with saying that you can't play a game.
So, and Red gets down and she takes her time in that typical movie star fashion when someone's being somewhat flirtatious of being a bit overwrought on how she lines up the pool shot and then shoots it.
Despite her initial protests at playing pool, she will of course grab a pool cue and lean on it as she watches Red maneuver around the table before, as she shoots, her eyes flick to the balls quickly and then back to Red. So, no sleeping, eh?
No. Is it common for you not to sleep? Because it's not common for me not to sleep.
Usually I sleep like a rock.
So what's going on?
Have you heard much about the Sabbat playing around in this city?
She shakes her head. Not much.
Alright, brief history lesson then. Just before I got here, they had some wee problems with a guy going around calling himself, what was it? Pestilence. Now, since I've been here, the other guys in my band have been saying that this guy that I helped fuck up is called War, and now that they've just killed someone calling himself Famine. So I'm guessing, just guessing though, that the pattern's continuing with this guy. I'm getting these weird dreamy things, and well, the guy looks like the fucking Grim Reaper to me.
She nods along to what you're saying. And sort of does an indication, like when you tip the pool cue towards someone when they haven't taken their shot yet. So, what do we have to do? I mean, you've dealt with these other guys before, I presume.
Amelia leans down, carefully lining up a pool cue. It looks like she's trying to figure out like proper angles and stuff, but it's clear that she's not played that much pool. Well, as far as I can tell, we just go and kill the bastard.
Sounds simple enough. She leans forward on the pool table. Not quite at eye to eye level with you, but enough that you can sort of look her in the face. She's watching you line up the pool cue shot.
She glances back at Red one last time before taking the shot. Aye, but it's never that simple, is it? And then she shoots and misses because she's not that good at pool.
Red goes around to take her shot, having to get closer because you sort of misfired yours. She stands about maybe less than a foot away from you as she leans down to take her second shot. So what do you suggest?
This time Amelia leans forwards against the pool table, one hand still on the cue, the other placed against the edge of the table, almost next to Red. Well, usually what happens is someone else finds out where they are, and then they call me and the boys in, and we go and smack the shite out of people.
Red makes that that sort of pouting face you make when you think, yeah, okay. As she takes her shot and slides a red ball into the pocket, and then moves around Amelia to get to the other side and takes another shot. Well, I don't really feel all that safe in my own haven right now. I'm not entirely sure whether this thing, this Grim Reaper, can actually do anything to you, but I woke up with blood on the floor one morning.
Aye, I did as well. She's now eyeing Red rather curiously, because Amelia's not good at hiding her intentions.
I think it might be safer for the meantime if we would consider havening together. All of us, of course. You know, suggesting to the other. She almost says Canaanites and corrects herself. Kindred in the city that they shack up for a little while until we can eliminate this threat.
Aye, can I ask what you dreamt last night?
About a church.
Aye, same here.
Out of character, I'm going to have to go reread the post if I want to tell you anything in detail, but if you read the post, Red will relay that information to you. She'll just, it'll be exactly the same dream that Amelia had.
She nods along slowly. Aye, I had the same thing. You get the feeling that we're trying to be pulled into a trap.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Just about I knew tended to wear more on the basic kind of side, Bruges, Toreador, a couple of the Sombra, but I knew about Sabat who could do things with dead bodies and necromancy and other weird shit like that. I've heard about it, I've seen it, not firsthand, but, on battle plans in battles. Read about it, talked about during moots. Was moots? That's the wrong word. Masses.
Well, if the dream's anything to go by, I'm fairly sure that we need to stay the fuck away from that church. And whilst I like your idea I'm not sure if I want to be asleep around certain other kindred.
Is there anyone you would trust?
Clannies of mine, and a couple others.
Well, you don't have to shack it with anybody you don't want to, Amelia. It's just a suggestion. She says playfully, almost.
Booted foot comes out to give Red a playful little kick against her ankle. Hey, but you're a Clanny, you get a pass.
Ah. That's what I was hoping you would say. And she says it sort of cheerfully and almost blasé, but a little peer behind the surface, which I'll give you without an empathy roll because it's more cinematic. You can see there's a side, like sort of a momentary relief in her when you say that. Perhaps she was frightened before, but it's not like she's going to give that away.
Well, I'm fairly sure that you'd be welcome to shack up here at the Rose. I live just behind this place.
Yeah, I'm sure. Who else lives at the Rose?
Well, there's the sheriff is here quite a lot. Miss Jones and a Toreador.
Full house then.
You know us, kindred.
Well, I do have a pretty good talent for being able to wake up if there's any trouble, so.
Seem like a nice person to have around then.
Yeah, I've got my benefits.
That gets a look slowly down and up Red's body. Ah, yes.
She notices, but doesn't say anything, just smiles.
So I'm in favour of just staying, keeping our heads down, and just waiting through this whole thing. Because that sounds like a trap to me.
Well, you look like a woman who has pretty strong instincts. So I respect that. Spat are known for trying to cause traps. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a trap. Just have to wait and see, won't we?
Oh, I am fairly sure there's going to be some of us kindred that are just going to run headlong into it. It'll be interesting to watch from the sidelines with some popcorn.
She sort of walks back around and sits up on the side of the pool table next to Amelia. Not so close that it would be socially unacceptable to sit so close to somebody, but not so far away that it would be friendly. It's sort of in the borderline middle between intimate and friendly.
As she perches, Amelia leans down, starting to line up another shot on the pool table. So you've heard my advice. What do you think we should do tonight and tomorrow night?
I think you should make sure that you're secure. And Be ready for action.
A sound plan. You seem to be someone good to have around in that case.
Yeah, I'm always ready for action. She's watching quite intently at the shot you're about to take.
Sorry, my Firefox froze up for a second there.
It's alright.
She nods slowly. Aye, there's plenty of action around here, alright. And I understand that thought of trying to decide how to take action. It's good to know that you think about it.
You seem like the sort of person people would be drawn to as a leader, so I just wanted you to know that I've got your back.
Much appreciated, Ed. I like to know people think they can count on me. It gives me a wee bit of faith in what Miss Jones has planned for us.
If you did want a little bit of backup tonight, then you know where I am. There's another sort of playful smile.
She shoots a pool ball and nearly gets it in this time. Straightens up slowly. I know where I am now, but I don't even know how to properly find you.
Come knock on my door. You know where the character, I forget the name of the magic shop that Crimson owns. But yeah, you know where that shop is. And you know where this place is, so there's not too many red-headed Berger bikers around here to stand out from the crowd.
She gives a soft laugh at that. Aye, and Eddie's not much of a looker compared to you.
So, I'm gonna wait for you to take your lead on that, and I'm sure you can convince the others to follow. She's trying to pretend that she's talking about what she was initially talking about, but not doing a very good job because she's not the most social character. She's kind of a direct person, and she's playing coy at the moment for some particular reason, perhaps trying to appeal to Amelia's ego.
Well, like I said, you're welcome to stay here if you want. You'll have me quick on hand.
She laughs at that, and she's thinking about like an innuendo that she could make. Yeah, I think I will. I would like to have you quick on hand. At the moment, at least.
Well, let's get you all set up then.
Alright. Anything to stop from the distraction that you're failing miserably at pool, I guess.
Well, I did try and warn you.
She laughs and sort of gets up, putting the pool cue back where it belongs on the little rack on the wall.
Amelia does likewise, just but leaves the pool table as it is, fearing that if they wanted to, they could come back to it later.
Yeah.
And then she leads the way over to the bar, moving behind it, and finds a small box that she starts rooting around in.
Mhm.
If Miss Jones tells you it gives you any hassle about staying here, just tell her that I said it was fine for the moment.
All right.
She's got a soft spot for me. Comes from being Messiah.
Fair enough.
Finding a key on a small ring with a number on it, she'd stand back up. Right, let's go show you new digs.
Okay. She follows you up the stairs, sort of admiring the old, authentic style of the place as she goes up.
Amelia leads her through the building to find one of the rooms that's closest to the back exit. And there's a small staircase that looks like a staircase used only by people that work there, leading downstairs and upstairs from it. And she unlocks the door and opens it up to a room much like the one that Red occupied with Jesse earlier. It's not much.
Seen worse, certainly.
It beats the inside of a tank.
Or the rough side of a camel, she says, sort of jokingly as she walks into the room.
Amelia fires in, but just leaves the door slightly ajar for a moment, and she places the key down on the bedside table.
She looks over at the wall. I presume there's no window there.
No, there's not.
Okay. Well, you've been a very good bouncer, a very good concierge, and a fucking terrible pool player. I've enjoyed this evening.
Well, I'm glad that someone finds amusement in my shortcomings.
So, and she starts to look a little bit like, she's like, probably should just let her go. She like lifts her hand up and then lightly slaps it back on down to her thigh. I guess you have a home to get to.
I've got a wee bit of prowling to do before I kick it in for the night.
Oh?
Just doing some scouting round the town, seeing if there's anything going on. It's what I usually do.
Cool. Well, I could join you if you like.
Always welcome the company.
And, I don't know. Red will just sort of keep her jacket on and pick up the keys. To put them in her pocket to come out and do his own patrol. Which we may or may not find something on.
Amelia would lead the way back out the rows, finding a car which is exactly as Red remembers it. But prowling just seems to be mostly Amelia driving around the lesser travelled parts of the city, sort of around the outskirts and the places far away from the known Camarilla areas.
Red would just give you a hand. This can, rules-wise, this can sum up to giving you a bonus on your dice or lowering difficulty, etc. As you look around for stuff, and she just, chills in the passenger seat, smokes cigarettes, and helps you out.
There's even a rock CD this time, so no cheesy 90s pop.
Woo! And, did you want to do anything before they go back to their havens?
Well, Amelia will see Red back to the room after
Mhm.
the short car trip.
Yep. And Red goes in and she takes off her jacket and dumps it on the chair, takes off her boots and puts them under the desk or under the bed or whatever. She's sat on the bed and she's taking off her boots. And she puts the keys on the bedside table and looks up at Amelia and says, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Amelia is currently stood in the doorway with. She's leaning slightly with her left shoulder against the door frame, with the other hand grasped onto the top of it, just hanging there loosely. Hey, Red, I know we didn't meet under the best of circumstances, but I just want to let you know you're all right.
Red smirks. Thanks. You're alright too.
She smiles and steps into the room, offering Red a hand.
Red takes her hand and you notice that the flush of health it's keeping her skin warm.
Then there's a slight moment of hesitation before Amelia leans forward and puts her other arm around Red in a hug.
Red's surprised by the hug. She wasn't expecting that from Amelia. He gives off this pretty tough impression. And she returns the hug, sort of wrapping. I think Amelia's taller, isn't she?
She's
6 foot.
Yeah, just under 6 foot.
Yeah, she's a little bit taller than Red. Red's about 5'8", 5'9". She just puts her arms up around her shoulders and turns the hug.
After a few moments, she slowly pulls back, leaving a hand on Red's waist as she slides back a bit. Just so as you know, we're all in this together.
Now I know why you like cheesy power ballads.
Can you keep a girl down?
Big old soft heart under all that Scottish facade. She pokes at the centre of Amelia's chest.
You should see my soft toy collection.
Perhaps another night you'll invite me to.
Hey, maybe I will.
And there's a sort of there's a lingering glance for a few moments from Red before she stands back a little bit and looks towards, instinctively looks towards where a window would be, even though there's no window there. Best get back before the sun comes up and turns you into bacon.
Aye, we wouldn't even want that to happen, would we?
No. I'll see you tomorrow.
Aye, see you tomorrow. And she moves her hand from where it was on Red's waist and just gives it a little soft pat. See you around, Red.
So you keep saying, she teases, pointing out that Amelia keeps saying goodbye and not leaving.
Aye, I can take a message like that. Then she turns around and starts walking towards the door.
She's grinning like mad, like it's so funny. She doesn't really want her to go, but then she's not going to say that out loud. It's just one of those things that these types of women do.
She stops at the door, glancing back with her hand on the door handle. Just let us know if anything happens during the night, alright?
Alright, I will.
And with that, she closes the door.
And Red gets into bed, no doubt, in she's going to be awoken during the night by another dream. We'll see what happens then. That's where I think our scene can end.
Yeah, and Amelia wanders back downstairs and just tidies up the pool table before sitting around in the bar for a bit longer, and that is where this scene can end. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Good night on another episode of Vampire the Masquerade Independence.